guys, welcome to episode 4 of Speedrunning Cancellation. Okay, anyways, so today is an interesting topic. Finals week or my final week? We'll find out. But I am pretty sure it's my final week because I literally had 2 finals today and I don't even know if I did good on any of them. This mic is like far. It's like far from me and it's not cooperating. Anyways, do you like my Christmas hat, guys? It's almost Christmas. So I have this Christmas hat and I hope you guys like the festivity of the hat. Anyways, this one time I had an almost final week. My final week was approximately 3 years ago or 4. This one time I was skiing. I went skiing with my cousins in Seattle. So this was 3 winters ago, and I was just thinking about this because it's winter now, and it's back then I didn't have finals. I was happy. I did not have to deal with like going to class and being oh, I need to take 7 tests that might drop my grade by 17%. So because things were better back then, I was like what if I was still a child, you know? Imagine how wonderful that would be. So I was thinking about it, and then I was like, this one time I went skiing, and I literally almost died. So here's the story of that. This is giving my story animated, except there's no animated. This is just my podcast where I just, yeah. Anyways, if you don't know me, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe. I post lovely content, especially to this podcast, Speedrunning Cancellation. Oh, and I also hope you guys like this new camera angle because I put it up on my tripod instead of just raw dogging it and putting it against something. So today we're trying something new, and if it doesn't look good, I'll probably go back to putting it on a water bottle or something. But I like this angle because it's directly to me instead of under me. Because if I want to look at the camera, then I don't have to look down. I can just look straight ahead. It's in my line of sight, you know? I hope that makes sense. But anyways, I'm Mahatio. I make music. I have this podcast, and sometimes I like making short films, and I have quite a few in mind to create, which I will create soon, and you should stay tuned for that. Anyways, back to my story of my little skiing incident. Anyways, so I actually have not been to Seattle in a while. I think that was the last time I was actually at Seattle, as of right now. So we went there, and it was supposed to be some kind of casual going to my cousin's house and just being there. It's here's the thing, my little sister, she's 5, which is crazy to me, and my cousin's little sister is also 5, so they're basically twins, you know. So they were oh, we should get them together, you know, it would be great, 5-year-old and 5-year-old, mad combination, you know. Anyways, and then my cousin is actually a few years younger than me. I don't even know if you can hear me through this mic because it's so not close to my mouth. So I apologize if it sounds bad or quiet, or if it's too loud, sorry. My bad. But yeah, anyways, so she's right now maybe 12 or 13. I actually don't know how old she is. So I feel that's a really bad cousin moment for me right now. But anyways, so we went to Seattle to just visit them and be like, hey, let's just like let's chill, let's just like stay here for a week. And the parents, they were like, what if we went skiing, like I feel like that would be great. So everyone was like, oh yeah, like that's so great. Like, here's the thing, I've been skiing before. Like, I know how to ski, I know how to turn, I know how to stop, I know how to control it. But let's actually take a farther flashback to multiple more, many more years before the 3 years before I went to Seattle. Because I want to talk about the first time I learned skiing, because I feel like that's crucial information. So, the first time I went skiing, I went with like friends or like family friends. Wait, let's pause the festivities. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so we went skiing with family friends, and this was in Lake Tahoe. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. But I went with family friends, and they like, I didn't really start off with like learning how to ski. They were kind of just like go, like be free, and we were like, okay. So they took us to like this corner of like the skiing area, like the forest or whatever, and there was like kind of like this curving thing, like, you know what snowboarders do tricks on? They like the half dome or whatever. They took us to that because it was like at the side of like the entire thing. Like right after you check in, it's kind of like off to the side somewhere. So they were like, "Oh yeah, you can like go practice here." So we're like great, okay, let's do it. So like I figured out how to get on the skis. I figured out how to like move around on the skis, obviously, which wasn't that hard. And I was like, "Oh, this is like really light. This is really easy." So I was like going up and down like the little, I don't even know what it's called, like the snowboarding curvy thing. So it was like, this is so great. And then when I got to the bottom of like that curve thing, I was like, how am I supposed to go back up? So it was like the adults, they were just standing there and they were like, are you gonna like continue skiing? Like, uh, no, like I can't get up. How am I going to continue skiing? Downhill. You can't ski uphill. So I was like, sure, wonderful, I guess. So then they took our ski poles and they pulled us up. Because this was when maybe I was like 8. So we were like this big. So it was like easy to pull us up, and it was like fine. So then they were like, okay, maybe we should actually go to the actual like the ski park of the skiing place that we were at, because obviously why would you go to like this entire skiing area without skiing the actual slopes? So we're like, okay, great. That's great. So then no one told us that we should take our skis off, so we were all just like slowly like whoosh, going through the snow to get to like the green slope. Like I think the green slope is like the easiest slope. It's like the one where they have like the little escalator, but not the one where you sit on. Like it would just pull you up. Um, there was like a lot of little kids there. So if you were skiing there and you accidentally ran into a little kid, like their mom's gonna come find you. Like they're gonna point you out in the middle of you getting onto like the chairlift, and they're gonna be like, "Mommy, mommy, that kid just flew into me." Yeah, this is not. This is hypothetical, obviously. Um. Anyways, so all of us, we were just like, okay, let's go, guys. Let's go climb this hill. So we went through like the little standing thing. We made it to the top, successfully not bumping into anyone. And then the part where we get down, it was like kind of like a small slope. And then we were not taught how to stop. We were just taught how, like, we were just thrown in. We were like, okay, bye guys. We're gonna stand at the bottom of the hill and I hope you have fun. So I don't know. I use like my common sense though. I use like my pro roller skating skills, because I used to go like every Saturday, and I used those skills to successfully stop. But that was after the first few tries. which we don't talk about. Anyways, so we got there and then we all just like fell. We were like, okay, let's learn how to stop. So we learned how to stop just like at the top of the hill too. We were just like, how do we stop? And then we just figured it out like on the spot. And then we were like, okay, we're going to actually have to get down the hill. And when I tell you, there were like 1,000 kids on that one small, not even steep hill. I swear to you, there were that many kids on that hill. Navigating that was like literally like a maze. Like, I don't even know. Like, this is vividly engraved in my brain. I was like, why are there so many kids here? Like, I was also a kid, but like, why are there other kids, you know? Like, you know, go get on another hill. So then I was like, okay, well, let's go down. And they were like, should we take turns? And I was like, no, let's just all go together, you know, like hold hands and ski down. We did not hold hands, otherwise we would have all died. But actually, yeah, we probably would have. But we were like going down and like we were like turning. We're like, how do I turn to the right? Because there's like 6 kids in front of you, and it's like I want to go this way, and they also go that way, and then you're gonna have to turn, and they decide to also turn. But successfully made it to the bottom of the hill, and I was like, I'm a pro skier, like I got this. So then I was like, can I like go up? And my dad was like, sure, I guess. Like, I don't even know if he was watching me when I was going through the green slope, but he was like, okay, let's go. So we went, and I was like, I want to go with my friends. And then he was like, no, like, you're coming with me. Because obviously he wouldn't want his child to, like, I don't know, like, get lost and die on a random hill. So we went to, like, the easiest hill, and I was like, okay, this is really light. That was great. I was like, yes, wonderful. I love Lake Tahoe. And I skied down, and then I repeated the same process 60 million times, I think. But eventually I was allowed to go with friends, and I was like, yes, I don't have to be with the adults anymore. So then I, like, obviously me being the 8-year-old I am, I was trying to be nonchalant, and I was like, I got this. But then I fell down a few times. But it wasn't that bad. Like, it was just a fall. You just get back and continue skiing. Because, I mean, like, you're just skiing. I mean, like, how bad could skiing be, you know? Not that bad, obviously. So I was like, this is so wonderful. I'm a pro at skiing. So I keep skiing, like, I keep doing it over and over again. And then I eventually got tired, and then we ate food, and then we went home. So this was, like, the boring part of the story, but I will get to when I almost died. So, anyways, moving on. Now, I'm talking about when we're at Seattle. So, at Seattle, I was like, I already know how to ski. Like, I don't even have to do this stuff. But then I was like, maybe I'll just try going on, like, the green slope again. But this time, the green slope was actually, like, not as crowded. Because I don't think a lot of people go to, like, this ski resort area in, like, I don't know. Like, I guess people just didn't used to go there, and I see why. And you will probably see why, too, after I explain how I almost died. But, so this one was also the same way to get up. It was, like, kind of like the airport, like, moving things, like, I don't know, like, the escalators, but they're all flat. Like, you just walk. Or you don't even have to walk. Like, it's just, it carries you. So it's like one of those things, and that was like easy, obviously. And I don't remember who else was skiing, but it was me, my younger cousin, my dad, and my cousin's dad, because the moms didn't want to ski, and the babies are babies and are unable to ski. So we all went there, and it was great. I made it down, repeated that same hill like 2 to 3 more times, and I was like, why is this hill steeper than like the other green hill that we went to when I was 8? Like, there has to obviously be a difference, right? Because like, why is it steeper? Like, I thought this was the beginner hill, and I also saw like other 3-year-olds like skiing, like like you know, they're also skiing. I'm skiing. We're skiing on the same hill, and I'm struggling to get down this hill. How are you successfully going down this hill? So it's like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, show off all you want, you 3-year-olds. And then, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna actually like go on a hill. So then my dad was like, okay, I'll come with you, cause once again, like this is a completely new place. I could probably get lost. So went to this guy. We were like, hey man, like, where's the next easiest slope after green? I don't know where this man points us to, but he took us to like the steepest hill in the entire thing. We didn't even question it. Like, it was like, okay. Like, it didn't even look that steep from below. Like, when you look up, it's like, oh, it's just a regular hill. Like, you just ski down it. This is like the average skiing hill. So then we take the chairlift, we go up, and then we get down. Obviously, I struggled to get down again because I was like, I, like it's a hill and you're on skis and there's snow, so you're gonna slip probably. Um, this thing is telling me to pause, but I don't want to. I'll use my free will and let it continue recording, and hopefully I don't lose anything because I'll cry. Because I did not put this festive hat on for nothing. Anyways, so we got up to the top, and I looked down. On the left side of the chairlift, there is a huge pool of water. It's like snow, and then there's just a huge like this. It's not even huge. It was like a little body of water, and the funny thing is, they had the netting around the front of the water and not the side where the skiers are going down, which really confused me. And so the right side was extra steep at the top. Like, I kid you not, it was like a huge, it was like a little drop. It's like, how are you gonna let like some little like 12-year-old fly across this little, I don't know, like this like cliff? Like it wasn't a cliff. It was like a mini cliff, like it was really small. I was like, and it was steep. So I was like, how am I supposed to do this? But like the bottom side of the right side was like, it was fine. It was like not steep. It was like regular skiing sized slope. So we had this genius idea. We start on the left side and then we turn into the right. Foolproof plan, right? Like, I mean, what could go wrong? Obviously, a lot could go wrong. So I started skiing down. I was like, it's like, oh my God, this is so fun. Like, I'm going so fast. And I was wearing a beanie. It was my favorite beanie. Flew off my head. Some random man stole it. He just stopped on the middle of the hill and he was like, I want to take this hat. So he took it and he never gave it to me, even after I literally almost died. But so I was going down and I turned. Turning was great. 10 out of 10 turning. But here's the problem. We did not notice dirt patches while we were coming up on the chairlift. They were literal dirt patches. And so, like, I mean, obviously, like, you don't see them. And then I flew over, like, 7 patches of dirt. Like, I don't even know. Like, I genuinely ate dirt, too. Like, I don't even know what happened. But my mouth was filled with dirt. I had so much dirt in my mouth. I had, like, cuts in my mouth, too, after eating all that dirt. So, like, I flew, and then I lost, like, I just, like, because I flew over them, like, my foot, like, the ski hit the ground, because they're, like, skis are, like, long. So my ski hit the floor, and then, I don't even remember, this is, like, vaguely in my brain, but, like, the ski hit the ground, and then I was hitting the ground at the same time. And then my feet obviously were hurting because when I landed, the skis would like land awkwardly, and then my feet would be here, and then my head would be like up here. So it was like a weird landing position, and my legs were like done. And one of my skis like fell off. Like I don't know if it broke or if it fell off, but something happened, and that was gone. And then I turned around and I looked to my dad, and he's like struggling up on the hill. He broke the skiing pole stick, so he was just like there, and he was like, "What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to get down?" So he was like trying to come down to help me, but then he also got stuck because his pole broke in the snow. So I fell. My mouth was bleeding. I was dying. My foot was hurting. My right foot was in pain. But thank God I did not break a bone, which is insane to me because I never in my life have I ever actually broken a bone, which that shocks me. Like I haven't even gotten a concussion either. Like there were so many times that I could have gotten a concussion, but story for another time. Stay tuned for that one. But anyways, so like I'm just on the floor, and then I'm like, what is going on? Like, what just happened in the last, like, 5 seconds? So I look up. In front of me is the large metal pole for the chairlift. My head was this close. Like, this isn't even, like, an exaggeration. Like, my head was, like, this far away from the pole. Like, I looked up, and I was like, oh. Like, I could have just, like, bashed my skull open if I flew, like, a little more. If my ski didn't get stuck in the snow and break, then I probably would have hit the thing. Anyway, so this old man, he, like, came by, and he's like, oh, my God, like, are you okay? And I was, like, in tears. I was like, no, what's going on? Like, where am I? And this guy was like, let's safely get you down. He was like, I'm going to help you take your skis off. And I was like, okay. They helped me take my skis off, and obviously I was covered in, like, dirt. So he was like, do you want to take this, like, jacket thing off? Like, you're covered in dirt. Like, are you good? Anyways, so then this guy on, like, this snowmobile just, like, drives up, like, casually, and he's like, okay, we're going to put you in here. And, like, my legs were not working. Like, I could not stand up for the life of me. So I was like, they put me in, like, the snowmobile, but it was, like, they attached, like, some kind of, like, bed to the back where they just, like, wrapped me up in, like, a tarp or something. They, like, pulled me down, and they were like, oh, we're going to take you to, like, the infirmary of, like, this skiing place. And then I was like, okay. Anyways, so then they took me into this really weird place. Like, it was, like, a log cabin, but it looked abandoned, and apparently it was an infirmary. So I was like, I'm probably going to die here. But I didn't. There was, like, an actually, like, really nice lady in there. And then she was like, so what happened? What happened? And I was like, yeah, I just almost died. And she was like, okay, like, can I see where it hurts? Question mark. And I was like, okay. So then I was like, my mouth, like, tastes like dirt. And she was like, you should wash your mouth, obviously, because you have dirt in there. And I was like, okay, I will. So I did that because obviously they just have a sink in there, you know? And I came back, and then she was like inspecting my mouth, I guess. And she was like, you have, like, cuts on your lips. And, like, like, you just have a bunch of cuts. So, yeah. Strange thing about that, though, I was actually one of those kids who never lost my teeth until, like, 8th grade. I got 7 teeth pulled out. Also a story for another time. But I actually have so many stories. That's so weird. Like, I was, like, thinking about a podcast idea, and I was like, I don't even have any stories. Like, my life is just that boring. But no, apparently I do. Anyways, so I had, like, all baby teeth, so it would be fine if I lost a tooth. But I didn't lose a tooth because obviously the only way I could lose a tooth is if a dentist pulled it out. Obviously. TMI, by the way. But, like, she was like, okay, well, like, you're fine. Like, there's nothing in your mouth. You don't have any splinters. Like, you'll be fine. And I was like, okay, that's great. And then I, like, showed her my foot. I was like, my foot is, like, dying. And it was, like, my shoe was tied way too tight. I don't know what happened after I fell, but like the thing like clamped extra tight against my foot. So like my foot was already throbbing because of that. But when she took it off, like I had like a hole, like I had like a huge bruise. It was like this big just across my leg. I was like, yeah, that happened all while I was skiing, man. Like, it's not my fault. It just spawned there. And so then the woman was like, I'm going to give you ice, like, just in case you, like, broke something. Because obviously it's like this, it's a log cabin. They're not going to have an x-ray or anything. And so I was like, okay, thanks. So she gave me an ice pack, and I was, like, walking around with, like, one snow boot and, like, one shoe. So that was wonderful. And then I got back to my mom, and it was like, hey, like, I almost died. And she was like, what? Anyways, because, like, she's extra paranoid, you know, so obviously, yeah. And then she was like, okay, so I'm not going to let you walk around in, like, dirty snow wear. So I ended up having to change in, like, this random bathroom of that place. And that place was so sketchy. There were so many weird people walking around outside. And they kept looking at us really weird. And I was like, you look at yourself first. So anyway, so I changed in the bathroom of like this Starbucks they had. Like apparently they had a Starbucks in a log cabin. A separate log cabin, by the way. But I was changing in there. And then my mom was like, what? This bruise is like massive. Like, hello, what is it? So I was telling my mom, I was like, yeah, like, maybe, I don't know, that the lady thinks maybe I, like, broke my bone or, like, my, I don't know, like, fractured, sprained, I don't know. And my mom was like, nah, you'll be fine, just walk it off. Like, that was so PE teacher of her, and she's never been a PE teacher before. So, like, her saying that was, like, really weird to me. I was like, you're telling me to walk this off. Like, this looks like this big of a bruise. And so I was like, yeah, walk it off. So I almost died, guys. Yeah. And then when I got home, we never did an x-ray. We never found out if I broke that thing or not. I just casually walked around with, like, this fat bruise on my leg for, like, I don't know, like 2 months. I don't know, because it took, like, a long time to heal. It took me, like, a month and a half. And so almost died. And I hope you liked the story of me almost dying. And if it was entertaining, it probably wasn't. I was like yapping for like the past 30 minutes. But if it was interesting, please subscribe. Please give me advice on how to podcast better. And like this video was a good story time in my opinion. Maybe I'll post a shorter version eventually. But please follow my TikTok. Follow my SoundCloud. Follow my Instagram. Please. And thank you. And thank you for joining me on episode 4 of Speedrunning Cancellation. And I hope you liked it. Happy holidays.